You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
Hey, what's going on? So I'm once again sans John. Mariano couldn't make it tonight, but since we've been doing nothing but having guests, I decided we're going to have the best guest of all time. So here with me tonight is Beetlejuice.
Oh, you're so funny. You're so funny.
Why? Right. You're not Beetlejuice?
Well, the casual version. But because I can't stay tonight, I just wanted to let you guys know, because it's Halloween, every purchase lot tonight, like even if you just buy one thing, you get a free incentive. You get a free incentive book. So like example right here, this is the black and white Vampirella, Dracula, Unholy. This is Lady Hell, the blue Lucio Prio cover. So yeah, anything you buy tonight, you get a free book. So happy Halloween. Enjoy the treats. Have a good night.
All right. See you later, Beetlejuice. I loved your movie. I really did.
Say it a third time.
Beetlejuice, bang!
Dang it.
Bye. See, got her disappear. Or does saying it 3 times make Beetlejuice show up? Now that's 4. What does that mean? I don't know. John Cole, thank you for joining us from. I saw your Facebook post this morning. The lovely sunrise and his cup of coffee, and knowing that you would not be here today, we happen to have a Green Hornet book, of course. And Jeff, that was not Amy. That was Beetlejuice. Please, okay. So how are we doing tonight? I see a lot of people in the house. We got John. I saw that our buddy, let's see here, got Jeff Wedding in the house, but I saw who was here earlier. Let me see. Oh my gosh. All right. Lars, man, Preston, John, Ron, what's going on? I think I saw Miss Jen in here as well. It feels like chats are disappearing. Lyle, what's going on, man? How you doing, Robbie?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing? Happy Halloween. This is the best day of the year. So happy Halloween. I'm excited to be here.
You know, when John posts stuff like that, it just makes you hate him.
Live from the poolside bar.
What's that?
Live from the poolside bar. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it just kind of makes you hate him, doesn't it?
Just a wee bit, but I'm excited to be here. It's Halloween. This is my day.
This is your night. I got to admit, I knew Amy was going to dress up. And Weird, what's going on, buddy? I'm a little disappointed. I kind of halfway expected you to dress up as something there.
You know, I really was intending on getting a Freddy Krueger costume this year, and by the time I was doing it, it wasn't going to be here till after Halloween. So I was like, oh well.
Yeah,
but I got my Horror Fest shirt on, our official PCP Horror Fest shirt. So
that's weak, dude. That's really weak.
Well, where's your costume, bruh?
Dude, I never claimed to be like huge on Halloween like you and Amy. This is my Halloween costume. I'm a softball coach.
Just because somebody's huge into Halloween doesn't necessarily mean that they're huge into dressing up for Halloween.
I just assumed the two went hand in hand. My mistake. But hoping everybody's having a good Halloween. I'm actually glad. I think I said this Wednesday. You weren't here. I'm actually glad we're doing the show tonight. I have
Robbie.
Oh,
does it get any scarier than being a Mets fan?
Than being a Mets fan?
Isn't that what you are?
No, I would never be a Mets fan.
Oh, never mind.
You're a
Nick,
Phillies fan,
Nick,
right?
You insult me. There's no call for that just because it's Halloween. He just came in the room and insulted me.
I see two
What?
M's. I don't know anything about
This
sports.
is the Mystics. It's got nothing to do with the Mets.
Oh.
Oh my God, he just came in the room and insulted me. I'm done. Show's over. I'm out of here. Well, Rubenstein, what's going on, buddy?
Beetlejuice.
I
Where's
already tried
Amy
that.
when we need her?
I tried it 3 times. I tried it 5 times. It didn't work. It just made her disappear, which is not a plus. But reminder, everybody who may have just joined us, you missed our special guest, Beetlejuice. I said it 3 times, so now he's gone.
Maybe the producer can pull up a quick image.
Yeah, right.
Can you do that, production?
Yeah, give Jay a minute, though. I want to make sure, because we already have our own haunting. Pictures of the books keep disappearing off of a StreamYard. So, but every purchase tonight, every single purchase tonight, you will get a free incentive Dynamite book. All right. So Lyle Hobson, go ahead.
Go Mets. So not being a sports fan, I did hear on the radio that this is a good week to be in Philadelphia.
This is true. If you
Eagles are 7-0.
that is true.
Phillies will hopefully win tonight.
That is true.
And the other sports team that played
That would be the Sixers.
no, the other one.
The Union.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Union.
Is playing LA, which
yes.
is the first time the 2 number 1 teams have played in years.
Yeah, that's kind of not a real sport. But anyway,
I don't even know what sport it is. All I know is it's the.
well, it is a good time. This is like
What is it?
The Union soccer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it is like a convergence of all the stars are aligning for Philadelphia. I don't think it's ever happened in Philadelphia sports history that all the teams are doing well.
So what's the Sixers doing?
They're not doing as well, but they show a lot of promise.
How about the Flyers?
The Flyers, I haven't even really checked. There's been so much going on. They were off to a good start, but I think things are getting a little rocky.
Yeah, they started off really good, but I don't know where they are right now. But I'm
Yeah,
so
I
happy.
was with the Phillies and the Eagles.
I'm
Then.
just so happy for the Phillies to be up on the Astros. It just makes me, as a Yankees fan who's hurting right now.
Well, it's not exactly up. We're tied 1-1, but they
Unless
are
the game started.
They are big. Yeah, well, it's going to start at, I believe, 8:02.
Oh,
but they are big fat cheaters, Houston, as it's been discovered that Maldonado was using an illegal bat, which they did nothing about, and the pitcher, I forget what's his face, that pitched game 2. We believe that he's putting some sort of substance on the ball for his slider to break as much as it's been breaking. So, but Houston is known to be cheaters after the whole sign stealing episode, so they're not going to walk away. But what I think is ironic is that the Houston Astros are so universally hated in this country. They did a little map. Did you see this map, Robbie? So
I did see that map. Yeah.
Everybody in the country are
look at what. All right, we got to put up Ed Weird and then Miss Jen's quotes.
all right. So every part of the country is rooting for the Phillies, except this small piece of Texas. Okay. All right. This is how universally hated the Astros are at this point in time. So
does that make them the underdog then?
No, they're
Okay.
definitely not the underdog.
I was just curious.
But they are well hated because of the whole cheating incident.
So real quick, so 2 things, and then I'm going to leave. One, just go back to the video and do a snapshot of Amy popping up so that we could show Beetlejuice. And second,
we should have taken a picture earlier today. I didn't think of it.
yeah, me neither. Second, don't forget you get 1 free incentive, rare limited edition incentive book with every purchase tonight. You buy 3 books, you get 3 limited editions. You buy 1, you get 1. And Jay, I don't hate sports, I just don't like them. So
Fair enough.
I don't hate you. I just don't like you.
well, there is a difference. Hate's a very strong word.
Fair enough. Okay. I just don't like you.
Right.
There's plenty of people I don't like. I wouldn't
about this?
necessarily
How about
say I
this?
hate them.
I'm indifferent to sports unless somebody tries to force me to watch them.
So you're ambivalent.
That's a good word. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Indifferent,
Fair enough.
ambivalent.
That's fair enough.
So I don't dislike sports. I just dislike watching them. So, although I did watch the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Hopefully you'll get to do that again this year.
Listen, once is enough for me.
Hopefully you'll get to do it again this year.
Hopefully the rest of Philadelphia will get to see it again.
All right. So let's get to our best offer books. I think we only have 2 tonight. Let me make sure, because as we know, I always miss one somehow. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to say 100% because I've said that before. It turns out I missed one. All right. So first up, Superior Spider-Man number 27. Now Animal Variant, signed by Jenny Parks. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is signed in gold, and it's going to be a best offer book starting at $19.62. And of course, includes the treat, the incentive cover, limited edition incentive cover will come free with this item, just like every item tonight. It is. We have one available, number 6 of 10. Again, this is a best offer book starting at $19.62.
The superior spider cat, one might say.
Superior spider cat, yes. That well said, sir. All right, then next up, this is the one. John, are you still watching, buddy? I know you're by the poolside bar. Hopefully, you're still watching. All right, Lars, man, we've got an offer. All right, Lars, man, you got it, buddy. I got you down. All right, Lars, man, it's going to open us up. All right. So next up, John, I hope you're still watching, buddy. Slipknot, what's going on? Thanks for joining us, buddy. Oh, yes. Yeah. So for the Dynamite 10-pack, if you get the Dynamite 10-pack, you will only get, if you buy one 10-pack, you will only get one incentive book. All right, just so you won't get 10. That's a package deal. All right, so John, I hope you're still watching, John Cole. The next best offer book is the Green Hornet #1 Dynamic Forces exclusive foil edition, signed by Alex Ross. It's just a retail of $199.99. It is a best offer book starting at $100, and it is number 19 of only 25 signed, and we have one available. Best offer starting at $100. All right, so we're Spider Cat, meow meow meow. All right, so anything interesting happened this weekend, Robbie, or what?
This weekend, let's see. Well, we've been just, we're at the end of Horror Fest, which is our big celebration of horror movies that we do here on Dylan's Horror Show on Pop Culture Philosophers as well. So I've been streaming these last couple nights. We did Videodrome last night, great movie. We did Pumpkinhead the night before that. We're wrapping it all up tonight with the entire Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. We're going to be talking about all 9 films. So I've been watching some good movies. I made some chili, and so I had some. Oh. Yeah, like it's always been a family tradition to have chili. So I make some chili on Halloween time, and had some Fritos and some cheese. Made a little Frito pie, and all that stuff.
So are you a beans or no beans guy?
Well, I actually am a beans guy when I make chili. In fact, when I make it, I usually use garbanzo beans, pinto beans, and kidney beans. I like the mixture of textures.
I started off as not being a beans guy in chili, and then turned out to be a beans guy in chili. So it's kind of weird, the evolution there. Jay, she left, dude. She's off to celebrate Halloween, so you can throw that bad boy up. There we go. Beetlejuice. Too funny. So Ron, let us know how the Diamond Con was. Curious about that, my friend. I know you were going to the Diamond Con this weekend in Baltimore, so hopefully it went well. Yeah, you picked up some good stuff. You had a good time. But my weekend was mostly spent outside, believe it or not, from dark 30 till well into the afternoon, working believe it or not, a softball tourney as a director. Okay. So somebody's got to turn the lights on. Is it true? Is John dressed like the Green Hornet? Hopefully John's still watching. I have no idea. He's not here. What's going on, 62 Lefty? For one of his vacation weeks. Hell, Stevie B, if that was possible, I'd snatch it up myself. Are you kidding me? So it turns out I'm getting too old for. I think I'm getting too old for this. It was 37 degrees at the first game, and I know enough to wear layers. By the afternoon, it was literally 70. I found out that my body doesn't. John Cole, I am not. Yeah, John. Yeah. Hey, could I trade you the Green Hornet book? I'll buy it for one of your vacation weeks. Yeah. Let me know about that. Do not send me an email though. Text me. Otherwise, I won't know what the answer is. This is a great day to remind the publisher I like more Pumpkinhead. Send him an email, buddy. We were actually talking about the Pumpkinhead movie. We brought up the fact that Cullen Bunn did a couple Pumpkinhead series for you guys, and everybody was like begging, like, man, they need to do more of those because those were really good. So there's a fan base out there for
if you guys just want to do more Pumpkinhead stuff, I'm just letting you know. I know the fandom. They're there. So.
Oh, you know what? I just read an email. I guess they feed it to the animals. There's a large vet, so it's kind of like a PSA. So your leftover pumpkins, donate them to these vet hospitals that have a lot of different types of animals, not just cats and dogs, but the bigger ones that have like farm animals and stuff like that. They can use it as feed, apparently. So rather than let it rot, which I've been guilty of, to the point where the faces and the jack-o'-lanterns imploded. Okay. All right. I left it out too long. When you're done with your pumpkins during Halloween, go ahead and donate them to the large veterinary hospitals in your area. They can use it as, I guess, feed or something like that. All right. Kenneth Bird, what's going on, buddy? So I'm actually glad we had this show. My daughter being 22 now, obviously does not do trick-or-treating. I got to tell you, man, I'm tired of opening the door for these little kids with the candy, dude. And candy's so expensive. So now I shut my exterior light off. My car's not in my driveway, so they'll just have to bypass my house. And my neighbor who used to sit out, they took off too today. I noticed. So they're not there at all, because usually if I'm not there, I'll leave candy and say, hey, they'll sit outside and say, hey, just give it to me if they try to knock on my door or whatever. But yeah, he and his wife skipped town too, I guess. They're tired of handing out candy too.
When I was a kid, I remember going trick-or-treating, right? And there would be just tons and tons of kids in all the neighborhoods, right? And in my neighborhood and other neighborhoods. Since I've become an adult and have been on my own, whether it's a house or an apartment, I never get trick-or-treaters. Like, I might get one or two and it's awkward, right? There have been plenty of years where I bought candy thinking I have trick-or-treaters. Nobody shows up. I'm just sitting there eating candy all night by myself or with my homies, So that's not really too big of an issue. Around here, everybody does those like trunk or treats. Like, everybody just does that now.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen those kind of keep control. It's unfortunate. I remember as a kid growing up, me and my friends would just run wild. No parental supervision, nothing. And we would just run through neighborhoods, like knocking on doors, getting candy and stuff. Obviously, when my daughter was younger, that age had passed. You had like, a posse of parents and kids all together. The problem with my neighborhood was there was a period when she was growing up, there weren't a lot of kids her age, and it's a limited development with a cul-de-sac. So there aren't a lot of houses. So we used to go to a friend's neighborhood, and they lived in development that was just like an endless development. I mean, it was just miles and miles and miles. So that was fun. But I feel some justice. Sinner 24, what's going on, man? So my daughter is taking my nephew out trick-or-treating today. So she now the roles have flipped. She has to do the duty, and I think she's getting dressed up. She's really getting excited about taking my nephew out. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
She tried to drag me into it. I said, no, I got to do live stream. Can't do it.
I'm needed tonight.
I've done my duty, man. Endless doors and walking around. Oh my gosh. I'm glad that part's over for me. But Ronald says, creative. I am on the Saturday live show towards the end. Oh, cool. That's cool. Stevie B, impromptu poll. Everyone's favorite Halloween candy. That's a good one.
Well, do we mean like packaged candy, or are we talking about like things like caramel apples as well?
I don't know.
Does that count? Because I love a caramel apple. I'll say that. But my favorite packaged candy is the Reese's peanut butter pumpkins, because it's a different chocolate to peanut butter ratio than a typical cup. And I really like the peanut butter pumpkins. And Twizzlers one time did these apple Twizzlers that had caramel inside of them, and they were delicious, but they don't have those anymore. So I'll go with those.
Jay goes, you went to houses that passed out caramel apples, Robbie. That's fancy.
Back in the 80s, that's what happened, right? You would do that, and there was this woman that would make popcorn balls, so everybody made sure we went
the popcorn balls. I remember that.
And nowadays, if somebody like made the treats they were handing out, people wouldn't trust them, man. It's weird. My parents wouldn't eat anything. I guess I got a stranger.
The world has changed, dude. Marcus Rex's pieces. I know this is a controversial candy, but I always like candy corn. I was a big fan of candy corn. I don't know. Not everybody likes it. Sheldon, what's up, buddy?
I like candy corn a lot. I don't mind it. Like, the thing is, if it's there, you put candy corn in a room full of people that say they don't like candy corn, it'll be gone after a couple hours.
So Marcus, raises up a good point. Razor blades and apples. Now, I remember that fear that went around, but I don't ever remember reading in the news or anywhere that it actually happened to anybody.
Yeah, I was actually, what movie is that? There's a movie that has a really gnarly, like, razor blade in the apple scene where I can't remember the movie right now. I'm sure someone will, but apparently that's just an urban legend. That's never been on document of actually happening.
Marcus, it's a myth. I thought it was. I don't ever remember it happening. Now I know there's a huge fear because the feds busted like a fentanyl ring, and they made them look like little colored pills, right? Yeah. Kind of like Pez, or I guess it's Pez looking, and everybody's freaking out. Okay, oh yeah, people are gonna pass this out, at Halloween, and kids are gonna get, gonna die and stuff. Not for nothing. I doubt the fentanyl makers, drug dealers, are gonna want to be giving away their product for free. That does not seem like the best way.
I don't know. You see, everybody shares these memes, and Jay, it's not Trick or Treat. I know that movie, and I know the scene you're talking about, but I'm thinking of this one where it's like an old woman. She makes like an apple pie or something like that for her husband. Man, it happens like towards the end of the movie. But I keep seeing all these memes where people are like, because in states, I guess, where marijuana is legal, there's these edibles that just mimic like popular brands of candy. And people are like, make sure that nobody's giving your kids pot candy. And I'm like, I don't think anybody would give that away to a kid. Like, they'd be like, this is mine. Here's some regular Kit Kats for you, man. I paid $30 for that Crunch bar. You can't have that, kid.
So I mean, look at it this way. So the only possible reason you would give away the colored fentanyl to anybody for free is to hook them onto it, right? But the problem is, why would you give it to kids? They ain't got no money. They can't become customers, okay? So obviously, I think the reasoning is to hide it better from the authorities, to try to smuggle it wherever it's going, right? So I would think that would be the purpose. But I remember reading this, scratching my head, going, why would a drug dealer give it away for free to children? That's not your target audience, number one. And number two, that sounds like a real quick way to go out of business and get your legs broke, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get the drugs from somebody.
Jay's completely right. That it is Night of the Demons. That is the movie. There's a gnarly scene where this dude's like throat's just like getting all cut up because he's eating these apples in this pie with razor blades. It's a great scene.
All right. So let's get to another book real quick, because I realize we've been jibber jabbering here. It's already 6:25. All right. So next up, we got Guardians of the Galaxy, number 0.1, first printing, signed by artist Justin Ponsor. Probably one of the best colorists out there. Clearly passed away way too early. And we have the one available, number 19 of 50, of only 50 signed, for $19.69.
That's a really great deal for that.
That is a really great deal from obviously a very, very talented artist.
Yeah.
And creator, one of the best colorists out there. And, obviously passed away way too young. You hate to see that. It's Sinner 24. Yeah, wouldn't it bring heat on the drug dealers, right? Somebody reports, hey, Mike, this house over here is handing colored fentanyl pills. Next thing you know, you got SWAT breaking down your door, man. Creative Keep. I thought so. I remember thinking back, like, I don't remember anybody ever, running into a situation where, oh my God, I got candy with a razor blade in it. You know what I mean?
My mom always told me, if somebody gives you an apple at Halloween, you throw it through one of their windows. But my mom was an unconventional maternal figure.
That sounds interesting. Gotcha, Preston. So Preston has claimed Guardians of the Galaxy, so that is out of here. So I forgot, I left something at home, and I went home to grab it this afternoon, and dude, the kids were already starting in my neighborhood. I ran in my house, grabbed what it was I forgot, and man, I got out of there as quick as I could.
It's so weird how this works around the country, because like here, everybody was doing it Saturday. They have this obsession here in Alabama, and like to only do it on a Friday or Saturday night, right? And then when I was a kid, that was not the case. But I remember when it first started, because it would be like, well, Halloween's on Sunday. Well, we don't want to do trick-or-treating on Sunday. That's the day everybody goes to church. And it's kind of started there. Then it just became this thing where everybody just does it on the closest Friday or Saturday, which is weird and almost bums me out because it's like, but it's the day of Halloween, right? I don't know.
Did you grow up in Alabama, in that area?
I did, yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't remember. Yeah, around here it's usually like this year the kids are going trick-or-treating tonight. But I remember some days, just due to weather or whatever, the weather forecast or whatever, towns will move it up. But usually towns don't move together. So one town's doing it on Saturday, another town, so they kind of gave up on it. So
yeah. So there's like sometimes I think maybe you'll get the same batch of kids 3 nights in a row because there's like all these different people doing it on different nights. That's a good.
I don't like it when teens knock on my door. It's like, dude, now you and I both know you're just looking for free candy, bro. Okay, exactly. You didn't dress up. You got a pillow sack for your bag. Okay, there've been a couple of times. Been a couple of times where I was, dancing on the edge. I might have gotten my house egg because I'm looking at a teenager going, "Nah, dude, you didn't even dress up, bro. I ain't giving you nothing." And I slammed the door shut. Boom.
Yeah, you're gonna get a flaming bag of poo next time you do that, man.
Flaming bag of poo, huh? Very specific. Sounds like a comment from history or some experience involved there.
I mean, no, everybody knows that flaming bag of poo trick, right? And then they have to go and stomp it out, right? Yeah, that's dangerous. Don't do that though. Like, no, you just.
Yeah, but let me say this. This does not sound like a good plan, because at some point you've got to get the poo in the bag in order to light it ablaze.
Hey, I understand. Sometimes it's just as simple as scooping up your dog's backyard droppings, or whatever.
This really sounds like spoken from somebody who has extensive experience in this.
I used to be a little wild when I was younger, especially playing pranks on the night before and the night of Halloween. I don't do any of that. You were
mischief night.
Yes, I was the mischief maker. But we used to get that one time because my mom would encourage this stuff. And one time she took us out to egg houses in the neighborhood. And then she drives us into the cemetery and she acts like she's out of gas. We all get out of the truck. She just takes off and leaves us there at the cemetery. It freaks us out. She's like, "That's what you get for egging houses." I'm like, "You're the one that took us."
Oh, that is outstanding. All right. We got to take our first break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Did you know that every experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Are you a comic creator? Are you a publisher? Do you make a comic book product? Do you own a retail store? Do you do something I haven't thought of? Who are you and what do you do? Let us know by advertising on The Experience and invite our viewers to patronize your product. Message the EXP on social media or email us the_EXP@yahoo.com for more details. Get the inside scoop on everything happening at The Experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.
All right, we're back. So Lyle says in his day, Halloween was very cold up here in northern Canada. Yeah, I bet it was. Outings were short and sweet, no doubt. Let's see. Ron goes, I used to do that using horse crap. Man, a lot of bad kids and that watch this show.
He says he used to get the younger kids to collect the crap and bag it for $0.25 a piece. Look at the entrepreneur that Ron was back in the day.
I know, man, a real businessman, even when he was younger. That is too funny. So interesting. I thought they did away with daylight savings, but this coming Sunday we're flipping back again.
Yes, you're right.
Did I get that wrong? I thought that the decision was, or is that next year?
I think it. Yeah, I don't think it goes into effect till like next year or something. Is what?
Oh, okay. I thought we were finally done with it.
By then they'll probably be like, "Oh, never mind, we need it." I don't know. I still kind of like it.
Why though?
Because I like it when it's time to fall back, right? When we're going to standard time, because then it's like we gain an hour of sleep. Now we have to lose it when we spring forward to go into daylight savings time, but also when we're in daylight savings time down here, the sun doesn't set until like 7:30 to 8. And I like that, like getting off work, still having daytime. But then during the winter, it's like night when I'm leaving work. And it's just like a perpetual existence of like the vampire or something. I don't know. It's weird.
All right. So 62 Lefty and CVB both say it's next year. Yeah. So, so I must have misunderstood. I thought we were finally done with it. I don't know. You read all those reports about how it's the time of year where you have the most heart attacks and all that kind of stuff. It just causes the body clock to have to adjust. And I hate it personally. I never liked it. And there's no purpose in it anymore, in my opinion.
That's true.
All right. So let's get to the next book. Let's see, what do we got? All right, here we go. We got Generations Shattered #1, signed in silver by Dan Jurgens. Is that silver or gold? I'm sorry, signed in gold, actually. Right? Is that silver or gold? How did I get that wrong? Now I got to get up and look.
To me.
Yeah, it's gold. I have silver on my sheet. How did we get that wrong? Let me see. Now I got to look.
You got to physically look at the book now.
No, it's silver. How weird is that? No, the one we have. I'm sorry, Jay. I think they sent you the wrong photo, buddy. So the one we have is in silver, but it is the same cover. All right. So suggested retail is $69.99. And hold on, let me get back to my sheet, and I'll tell you. I will tell you what the price is. All right, and it is number 3 of 52, signed. Suggested retail is $69.99, and we have one available for $30. And of course, for those that may have joined us a little bit later, every purchase, individual purchase tonight. Okay, Ron, I'll take a look at that. So with every item purchase, you will get a free limited edition incentive Dynamite book. It'll be random, but if you buy 3 pieces tonight, you will get 3 incentive books tonight as well. So just want to mention that.
All treats, no tricks.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Who said what?
Said all treats, no tricks tonight, y'all.
All treats, no tricks. Exactly. So Joel, you're right. To give farmers more daylight. But we're way past that at this point. I'm thinking, most tractors have lights on it anyway. These, especially the big farm conglomerates that exist now. I'm not talking about the individual, farm families out there, but
yeah.
So it really doesn't serve much purpose anymore, and a lot of the world doesn't do it. So it really just changes things a little bit here.
Aren't there even places in the States that don't do it, like in Arizona or something like that? I think.
Yeah, I think there are too. Creative Keep says there was a report about how removing daylight saving causes more car accidents in the morning or something to do with
That's
public
right,
safety.
because it's dark when you start waking up and everybody's on their way to work and it's still dark, right? So like there's that. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Causes more accidents.
So Creative says Hawaii doesn't do it, I think. I don't know that for a fact, but I do know that there are states that don't do it, which then messes everything up too. You know, it's like you get that one state in Florida or the one area in Florida where there's a dividing line in terms of time. They observe one does daylight savings, one does not. So it becomes different times, you know, through the year. I don't know. It's just weird. I'm not a fan. So that's just me personally. All right. So, okay. Let's see what we got up next. Let's do, you know what? Let's do a CCA now. All right. So we have The Walking Dead number 150 signed with a zombie cover sketch by, of course, Ken Hazer. How much fun was it having him on the air that night? Suggested retail of $89.99. And this is probably the cheapest we've ever done a sketch cover. So we have one available for $19.92.
Wow.
The year
Plus,
that Image Comics launched.
Plus
you
the
get
treat.
free.
Plus
Yes,
you get a treat. And you get this awesome. Now, when we had Ken on last week, you know, I asked him, I'm like, so are you a big horror guy? And he's like, oh, yeah. And he started naming all these gnarly like zombie movies as his favorites. You can see that love in that sketch right there.
Yeah, I got you, Creative Keep. So Creative Keep has claimed it. So that one is gone. So, well, you know, Ezra Miller has started to behave himself somewhat. But there's been somebody new to take his place, obviously, Kanye West. I can't believe the guy has, you know, really, you got to be concerned about the man's mental health. I mean, he just blew $2 billion in a matter of days.
Is that what happened? I see people posting about him, but I just don't care. So I don't look into anything. But I know that every once in a while, people like he's done something crazy, right? But it always seems like he does it just to kind of. I think he's one of those dudes that just wants to still be relevant, so he just causes commotion to like stay in the news or something.
Hey, Richard Chip, thanks for joining us, man. Marcus, that's okay. He's happy. That's all that matters.
What did he spend $2.5 billion on?
Well, no, when Adidas pulled out, the valuation that's about $2 billion.
That's right. Like he had some shoes or something, and because of all the stuff that's been going on, they were like, "Nah, man." Right? Okay.
Yeah, he's become toxic, man. It's just that you know, you got to think that there's something not quite right. And then he apologized, and then hours later didn't retract, but just went on a tangent again. All right. And his, I think Donda sports agency obviously lost a whole bunch of people. Okay. But surprisingly, guess who stayed? Antonio Brown. And the Donda agency will soon be representing Ezra Miller as well. It just, I don't know, man.
They specialize. That agency specializes, man. You see?
Man, I'm telling you. Oh, Marcus. Yeah, Kyrie jumping on the bandwagon as well. Because we all know Kyrie Irving is pretty much the poster child of mental health himself. I don't know, man. He did create a team. He did.
What did Kyrie do?
What's that?
What did Kyrie do?
Kyrie I guess retweeted or reposted something about a movie that was deemed somewhat racist and anti-Semitic or whatever the case may be. And he once again refuses to retract it. Kyrie's another one. I mean, what he did to the Nets last season is ridiculous. Okay. You know, don't tell me it's about standing your ground and your principle or whatever. You know, if it really is, then, you know, donate a whole bunch of your money to a good cause. Okay. You know, Kyrie Irving's another one who thinks it just doesn't stink. But I think the road is coming to the end at, you know, this kind of behavior. Like Kyrie and the Nets, come on, they stink. They're absolutely horrible. Okay. Ben Simmons, another one. Oh my God. As a Sixers fan, I'm so glad he's gone. Okay. All right. You can't play in the NBA if your free throw percentage is like 40%, dude. Okay. You can't. You just can't.
Well, basketball.
Not like you're Shaquille O'Neal. Okay.
Yeah, right.
And
Well,
you're scoring
basketball's
30, 35 points a night.
Basketball's been disheartening to me because as a Lakers fan, we finally won our first game yesterday. So we're 1-5 instead of 0-6. So I guess that's an improvement.
I hate to tell you this. You got one person to blame and one person only, and you know it. LeBron James.
Yeah,
forcing that Russell Westbrook trade.
Yeah,
that was not who they needed.
It's terrible. Like they take the most like three throw shots I've seen. Like they go for the most 3-pointers, and they're like the worst at 3 points. Like, it's so bad. But my Cowboys won, so how about it? That was awesome. So
hey, listen, NFC East, they're beasts right now, man.
We're back, baby. What's up with that? And the rest of the NFC, like, where y'all at? Like, it's so weird. And
well, I think what's surprising is the Rams, the Chargers, all these teams that were picked to really come out of the gate, rare and obviously the ugliness that's the green, the Packers and the Bucks is just, like that old boxer that doesn't know when to retire. It's kind of sad to see. It really is.
It is.
Tom Brady should have gone out on top last year, and now things are going so bad. You're getting the divorce. You're divorced essentially, and things are not going well. You look like a shade of yourself. Jalen Hurts continues to impress. I got to admit, did most of it in the air. Didn't do it with his legs. Granted, it's against the Steelers, but still. And they got a soft schedule, man. They really do. I know that for the next few weeks, like the next 4 weeks, pretty soft.
I don't know if y'all gonna lose a game until y'all play us. So.
Oh, please. On that note, let's move to another book. All right. So let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. Detective Comics number 27. First printing, rare Frank Miller variant. And it is signed in gold by Peter Tomasi. I really like this cover. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is number 4 of 7. We have one available at $40. And of course, includes the treat. Every purchase tonight will get the limited edition incentive Dynamite book. And if you buy 3 items tonight, you will get 3 incentives. Let's see.
Nice. Hey, Rex, somebody up in the chat had asked about the Green Hornet book.
Let me see.
Which I think we brought it up, but it's a best offer.
Right? That Richard Chip, that is a Green Hornet book that you see. There are no Flash Gordon items tonight, unfortunately. But you know what? Let's go back and let's go to the Green Hornet. It's the Green Hornet number 1, Dynamic Forces exclusive foil edition, signed by Alex Ross. Suggested retail of $199.99. It is number 19 of 25 and is a best offer book starting at $100.
Because it's hard to get an Alex Ross signature today in person, for sure.
That much is true. That much is true. All right, so let's move to, let's see. Ooh, you know what? Let's do a Dynamite book. Let's see. Oh, here we go. All right, so we got Vampirella versus Red Sonja number 1. Virgin FOC incentive, 1-in-10 ratio by Alessandro Rinaldi. And it is suggested retail of $50, but tonight we have the one available for $14.99. Nice. And of course, this will also come with a treat. Preston, it may be. It may very well be time for a Rex cap. All right, so let's do it. What the heck? Let's do the Rex cap now. Now that we don't have John here complaining about the Rex cap. All right, so let's see. So first off was a best offer book. Superior Spider-Man number 27. Now Animal variant signed by Jenny Parks. Suggested retail of $89.99, signed in gold. It is a best offer book starting at $19.62. And Lars Man is in the lead, and Preston is going to claim the Vampy. You got it, buddy.
Good pickup.
All right. So then we did Generation Shattered number 1, signed in silver by Dan Jurgens. Even though the picture shows a gold signature, the one we have is actually in silver. Suggested retail is $69.99. It is number 3 of 52. and we have the one available for $30. Then we did Detective Comics number 27, first printing, rare Frank Miller variant, gold, signed in gold by Peter Tomasi, suggested retail of $89.99, and we have the one available for $40. It is number 4 of only 7 signed. Then we did the Green Hornet number 1, Dynamic Forces exclusive foil edition, signed by Alex Ross. Suggested retail of $199.99, and it is a best offer book starting at $100. It is number 19 of 25. And that's it. That's the Rex Cat, my friend.
Quick Rex Cat. That's what it was.
It is. So a lot of guys picked up some good stuff at great prices.
And every purchase gets a treat.
Every purchase gets a treat. Oh, and another announcement. So the original art show will return this Friday, but on the 11th, very, very special. Nick will be on with Black Panther and Submariner art, okay, with the first appearance of Shuri, and the total amount of original art that Nick will have on the show on the 11th, not this Friday, but there will be an original art show this Friday, but on the 11th, on November 11th, the total amount of art that will be on that show will be valued at probably $500,000. So you're going to see some really, really cool stuff on November 11th. But don't forget, the original art show is returning on Friday. We took a small hiatus because Nick was down at the Diamond Con, get some business done, so on and so forth. I don't know if he went to the show or not. We'll have to ask him later. All right, so let's.
You mean he was at the Diamond Summit?
The
at
Summit,
Baltimore
yes.
Comic-Con. Okay, I get you.
Right, correct.
I was like, what is this Diamond Con? What?
Everything's a con, dude. They can change a name, call it a summit, then call it whatever else. It's not like World
It's all
Leaders.
diamonds. You go in there.
It's a con.
Yeah.
Marcus, you always, dude, we'll work with you, buddy. We can always work with you, buddy. Especially a regular viewer like yourself. And keep in mind, Robbie and I will be doing Robbie's show on Friday at noontime Eastern. And I don't know what the topic will be, and neither does Robbie, because I'm pretty sure he makes it up Thursday night into Friday morning, usually. Depending, but it's always a good time. I think last Friday we did favorite Stephen King movies, which was fun.
Yeah, these last 4 weeks, we were tackling different movies that were involving Halloween themed things, best vampires movies, best werewolf movies, and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. Maybe something will happen in the industry, and we'll get to chat about that, or maybe it will be something else. Who knows? If you have any suggestions about what you'd like to see us talk about, you can drop that in the chat. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we would definitely like to know that. No problem, Marcus. $500,000. We'll do 150,000 up front, okay, and the balance in 30 days. We can do that for you, buddy.
That should give you enough time to call in some favors.
Yeah, don't send PayPal though. I think those fees are going to be a little high.
That'll be a cashier's check or money order only.
And Jay joined us for our Friday show, so that was pretty cool. Thanks, Jay, for joining us, by the way. But yeah, it was fun talking about Stephen King. Huge fan. So is Robbie, obviously. Robbie is a fan of all things horror. So I'm surprised that you don't dress up and like scare the kids to try to come to your door for treats.
Like I said, there's no kids that come to my door now. When I started getting into middle school, what I started doing were like yard haunts and house haunts, where we would like make up our house like people would go into a room and we'd have like a scene and somebody would pop out and scare them, or we would do it out in the backyard or in the front. We did that a lot. So I was always into that, but that magic is just gone now in Halloween. Like I said, everybody just goes to the church for their trunk or treats, and hardly anybody goes through neighborhoods except for like certain neighborhoods that are known. They're more of the well-to-do neighborhoods in town. You know what I'm saying? But when I was a kid, it was everywhere. It was everywhere.
That's kind of sad, though. I was a lot of good times, good memories, and as a kid.
I know. I just, especially because in the 80s, there was that big fear because there were some cases of children being taken and a lot of missing children and stuff, and it just changed the whole gear about child safety and what will be allowed, and that fear of losing your kid. Right. Being out there unsupervised. I mean, I get it. I think there's ways to go around it. Because trunk or treat to me, honestly, is more creepier because somebody could just throw your kid in the trunk, close it up, and take off, man. Like that's
Yeah, but it's usually an organized event by a
That
church
was
or
a
a
joke.
school. Or...
It was a joke, but don't trust a
That's a
solo.
very good one.
Don't trust a solo trunk or treat vehicle, right?
That's the guy with the fentanyl.
Yeah, right. That's we've all seen Silence of the Lambs. We know how that story ends.
Oh my God, too funny. All right, so let's do another book real quick. So we got Deadpool's Art of War #1, signed by Peter David. We have one available, and we have this one available for $19.90 for the year that Deadpool first appeared. I love this cover.
Yeah, that's a really cool cover. I mean, first of all, it just looks gorgeous, the scene, and then Deadpool pulling his best. This is Sparta. That's great too.
Full-size candy bars. I never found a house with those. Well, you know what? A few years back, my friend where Rupenstein, you were getting full-size candy bars because I waited too long to buy candy at the supermarket, and they were cleared out, bro. So I had to get full size. And that's a mistake because word gets around. Next thing you know, you got kids lined up.
There was always that mythical magic house when you're a kid. Like, I heard that this house on 2nd Street gives out full-size candy bars. Never the case.
It's like the razor blades.
Yeah. Urban legends only.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Oh my God. So what did you stream this week? That was that you would say was worth looking into.
You mean for Horror Fest? What are you talking about?
Just for anything. Horror Fest, anything.
Oh, like what did I watch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What did I watch? Let's see. Well, tonight we're talking about the Nightmare franchise, so I wrapped that up. I watched Freddy vs. Jason, which I love. I watched Wes Craven's new Nightmare, which I love. I watched Videodrome multiple times this week. We talked about that last night, the David Cronenberg film. That's one of my favorite films by Cronenberg. So I watched those. House of the Dragon wrapped up last week. That was an awesome show. I had so much fun engaged into that show. So that's mostly what I've been watching and getting ready for the shows that we do, because, working and then streaming. And then just usually all I get time to watch is what we're going to be covering on the multiple shows that I do. But
right.
Trying to think if there was something else that I was watching. But no, it's been pretty much those. I watched Videodrome, though, like 3 times this week. I pulled a John. So I was ready. I wanted to go deep on it.
Creative Keep says he finished House of the Dragon. They lost me a while back. So I do want to watch it, but I just, it's just one of those things, it just, once they lost me, it's hard to go back kind of, you know what I mean? But I do want to watch it. So Lars Mann goes, 1 year in Highland Park, the neighborhood association required only full-size candy. News crew showed up. Yeah. HOAs are out of control, dude. I can tell you right now, I would not be giving candy out. Nobody tells me I got to give out full-size candy. Forget about it. That's almost like saying you must give out candy. No, I don't must do anything.
Yeah. This is America. We must not do nothing.
Well said, sir. Well said. Oh, my God. All right. So I'm going to just throw this out there. As always, we have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles. Cover price $3.99 or higher. So suggested retail of $40 or higher. As always, as a thank you to our viewers, we're selling it for $5.50 a copy. And one 10-pack will also get you one limited edition incentive, the treat of the night. Every individual item will also have one limited edition incentive cover by Dynamite. So if you buy 3 items for the night, you will get 3 of the incentive covers. All right. So Creative Keep says House of Dragon got a bit goofy around episode 4, but the end is worth the investment, I think. Fair enough, Creative Keep. It's going to be a little bit because I got the World Series going on right now. So as soon as I get home, you know exactly what I'm doing. I'm throwing Fox up to see what the heck's going on.
Go Phillies.
Hopefully we can take 2 out of 3. Be nice if you just finish it.
I know you.
What's that?
I know y'all can. Y'all got it. Y'all got it in.
I hope so. I'm just, they've been on a tear. Like nobody explained to the Phillies, you're not actually supposed to be here.
This is game 3?
This would be, yes, game 3.
So you're in Philly tonight.
We are in Philly for the next 3.
You guys got this, man. That energy is going to be so vibrant there, man.
Well,
especially Halloween night.
It's crazy. You know, I looked into tickets, and it's so funny because it's been 11 years for the Phils, right? The fan base is rabid right now. So standing room only tickets are going for $1,500 at Citizens Bank.
Wow.
But if you go to Houston, you could probably get it for like $300-400. And there are actually, it should be, if it goes back to Houston, which I hope it does not, obviously. I hope the Phils finish it at home. But if they go back to Houston, there have been local businessmen here trying to put together tour packages. And there was one I heard advertised on the local news for $2,000. I don't know if it includes hotel or not, but it definitely includes airfare and tickets to the game for $2,000 altogether. It just goes to show you. So it's you know, if it goes back to Houston, you might see an interesting wave of red of Philly fans there. You know, it should be super interesting.
Be a good way to sabotage their home field advantage.
Yeah, but it's not like football. You know, all the screaming and yelling really doesn't help much in baseball as much as it does in football.
It can affect you a little bit, but exactly, it's not like you're struggling to hear the cadence of the quarterback or something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, forcing the opposing the visiting team to go to a silent count or something. That can create all kinds of headaches, especially with undisciplined teams. You know.
Yep.
All right, so let's see. We got to go to break. So we're going to go to break. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us.
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner. Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales. You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
All right, and we're back. So Sinner 24 says, did you see Alex Ross just painted Doom and Venom and it is fire? I have not. Have you, Robbie?
No, I have not seen that, but I do not doubt that it's awesome.
Yeah, well, you know, it's Alex Ross. Let's be honest here. everything that guy does is fire. But
Now he
Ron,
is doing, he just
Go
did
ahead.
those. He did those timeless variants, right? With all those heroes just on the white backgrounds. He's done something because they were showing them somewhere of like the villains. So he's got a villains one. So maybe they're doing a line of those incentives or variants too. But they look awesome, and it's all the big villains. It's super cool.
So Ron says, Rex, it would be great if you could provide 10 packs aimed at kids. I would love to give some of those away. Ron, let me see what I can do. As you know, a lot of Dynamite titles tend to be adult oriented, but let me see what I can do. I've never really thought about it that way. Stevie B, Preston, hopefully that's not true, but I think it might be. Stevie B and Preston, it is raining, and it's supposed to rain some more starting at 8 o'clock. So I feel bad for the kids in our area trick-or-treating. Hopefully they got enough done before the rain started. But it's been drizzling kind of whatever. I had not heard that, Preston, but it would kind of make sense. It's supposed to rain pretty hard. So it might get delayed to tomorrow night. So Sheldon says he is doing timeless, but villains. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's get to another, let's see. Let's do another CCA. All right. So we've got the Joker, Year of the Villain. Good segue. Number 1, signed with Joker cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have the one available at $50. And I thought this one would be appropriate for Halloween. You got the Kirby Crackle in the back there.
Yep, and he's wearing his Halloween mask, which is himself.
All right. So Creative is taking it. All right, you got it, Creative. I got you down, buddy. Yeah. So that I saw that. I said, we got to do this for the Halloween show. Very, very cool. So. But I'm going to be disappointed if the game gets postponed, but it sort of makes sense. You don't want to play in the rain. Although I don't know how Houston would deal with that. All their cheating ways may not work so good when
They just close the roof. That's what they would do.
What's that?
They would just close the roof.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is if they had to play in the rain, I think they'd do worse than the Phils.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes.
All their cheating ways wouldn't work so much. Right? You can't have foreign substance on the ball when it's raining and it washes off.
That's true. They change those balls so often to combat that. So I wonder if that's true, if they actually were doctoring.
I don't really think so. The bat thing though does bother me because that is true.
Yeah.
So he was using a Pujols model bat, which was grandfathered in for Pujols, but Maldonado can't use it. Okay.
Gotcha.
And here's the funny thing: in youth softball, this is what really grinds me. In youth softball, there's a particular sanction called USSSA, right? And before every game, as you're getting ground rules from the ump, the last thing they say to you is your team legally and properly equipped, okay, according to UTRIP rules? And you have to say yes. Sometimes they check, sometimes they don't. Okay, this is youth softball, for goodness sakes. You're on the biggest stage in the world, and you've got the only professional officials, I don't know about soccer, but certainly with football and basketball, that are paid full time. Okay. MLB umpires are paid full time. They don't have to have another job. Okay. And nobody asked this question. Nobody checked. It's the World Series, for God's sakes. Come on. Nobody checked, right?
That is true.
Thank you. I'm trying to get Yankee fans all riled up because Maldonado, if he used the bat against us and got caught, he used it against you guys.
Yeah, I don't think that was our problem, though. Our biggest problem was our offense. But, yeah, I'm still bitter about 2017, so it's best not to talk about it too much.
That a boy, as long as you're over it. All right, let's do it. Let's do, you know what? Let's do a graded. Here we go. All right, so this one actually just came in. Amazing Spider-Man #1 facsimile edition. Love that cover. What is that? Kirby and who else? CGC graded 9.8 guaranteed. Suggested retail of $99.99. And we have one available for $75. So obviously this is not the original because we'd have to have a lot more than 75. Yep, Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko cover.
Nice.
Legends.
So that's like
And-
digital inking Kirby or something. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
that is
mean,
awesome.
I don't know if I necessarily ever knew that.
What's that?
I don't know if I necessarily ever knew that about the cover.
Yeah, so these actually just came in. I managed to snag a handful before we had to fill website orders and diamond orders and things like that. But all right, Creative Keep, you got it, buddy.
Nice. That's such a good fun issue too, because you got that story where he's like trying to join the Fantastic Four so he can get a paycheck,
Yep.
and then they're like, "Bruh, we don't get paid." They're lying, but because in the next issue of Fantastic Four, pretty much they go bankrupt, right? But maybe that's why they didn't want to pay Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. All right, so let's see. It might be time for a Rex cap soon. Let me see what time it is. All right, so what are we thinking about Black Panther? I think it's going to be awesome.
I'm hearing good things. People are saying that the test audiences are responding very positively to it. Say it's the best Marvel film since Endgame, which I don't think is hard to do, but I think that's really cool. I'm getting, the closer we're getting to it, the more excited I am to see it, and so that's cool. But I still haven't seen Black Adam, because it's like my excitement level for that one kept going down the closer to the movie.
It's still making money, which is amazing. I mean, it's still, not the kind of Thor Love and Thunder sort of money yet, but I mean, it's still making money, but it's supposed to be, I think, who said it at this point, dude, it's supposed to be streaming soon, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So there's no point going to movie theaters for it. Now, Nick, actually, he said he after seeing the trailer, he heard something interesting. So I guess Namor in Black Panther is not from Atlantis, because Marvel's trying to distance themselves from DC, and Aquaman's from Atlantis. I had not heard this. The first time I heard it was when Nick mentioned it.
They used like is it like a mythic Aztec or Mayan legend or something? I think they're using, it's more based on that, which I think is kind of neat.
I guess we'll see. But there's certainly a lot of buzz about it. So Jay says Werewolf by Night has been the best thing in this phase so far. Jay liked Black Adam. He said it was cool.
Yeah, I want to see Black Adam. I still do. I'm definitely going to go watch Black Panther. Werewolf by Night was awesome. Some really exciting news this week was that James Gunn's being picked to be the co-head of DC Films.
Yes.
Which I think is really good, because I think he does good work. I think he's got good ideas. I think he's brought an energy with Peacemaker in particular to DC that could work. And I think competition's good. And Marvel, regardless of what you think about their films lately, I think they've kind of dipped down. Maybe this is what they need to also kind of get back on track, and to have, wouldn't it be cool if we had DC movies and Marvel movies and they're just all awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome?
Well, yeah, so, and then there's peace on earth and goodwill towards men, and
no more war.
Not Christmas yet, Robbie.
No hunger.
Bring this back up closer to Christmas, but I mean, I think it's great as well. I mean, you've got to think that certainly Peacemaker is the only thing that DC's really done that I got to say was phenomenal. So I think James Gunn is the right choice to guide this. I think Zack Snyder was too dark, and as John likes to put it, I think we're all looking for more of a popcorn movie, although Thor Love and Thunder, they took it too far. Okay. With the screaming goats and everything else, too far. Okay. Not funny. Okay. Russell Crowe as Zeus, not good. Not good at all. Bad accent. The Bolt of Lightning, seriously, dude, that looks like some kid's Halloween costume. You would have picked it up at Party City or something. It was horrible. So, that was too far. But I think James Gunn is really what they need. A shot in the arm kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to it. I think that was, they've made a lot of bad moves since the merger with Discovery. Yeah. So I think this is a real first good move that we've seen.
Yeah, I have good hopes. We'll see what happens.
All right. So let me see. So Jay says not every DC character. Larsman says he liked Moon Knight better than Werewolf by Night. That's an interesting statement right there.
I respectfully disagree, but I respect your opinion, Lars, man.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I still have not seen Werewolf by Night, so I am so far behind. All right. So let's do this one. Guardians of the Galaxy #5, because that's been on my brain as well. Dynamic Forces exclusive cover. This is an unsigned book, but it is a DF exclusive cover. And we have one available for $19.69 the year that the Guardians of the Galaxy first appeared.
Very cool. Who would have ever thought back in the day we would have Angela in the Marvel Universe? Isn't that crazy?
Well, you know what? Here's the other thing. Going back to Guardians of the Galaxy, that shows to me what James Gunn is capable of. You know what I'm saying? I think they made an excellent choice there.
Yeah, I mean, the most unlikeliest of hits for Marvel at that time in particular, right? Like, it shouldn't have worked. Probably wouldn't have worked if anybody else would have done it. But he brought that energy. You know, he was making these like cult horror films beforehand. Like, he was working for like Troma, and he did like Slither, which is an awesome movie. Like, he's got a sense of style that fans across all the ranges really, really seem to like.
There's just enough humor and enough seriousness, balanced out. I think that really is what he's done. Mark is talking raccoons do wonder. Where Rubenstein has a very interesting question. Overall, since the 1970s, do you think Marvel or DC has made more great movies?
I mean, just in quantity alone of what I would consider great or just solid or like good movies, I think Marvel has it right now just because of the quantity that they put out over the last 10 plus years. But do not ever forget that DC started that game. You know what I'm saying? With the Superman franchise and then Batman, those movies were huge. That was also a different time for cinema. And it seems like DC's had trouble adapting to the post-2000s, the post-Matrix era of cinema. It seems like DC's had trouble adapting to that. Marvel came right in with Iron Man, and they've been trucking ever since, pretty much.
I would agree with that. I think that DC and certainly Warner Brothers was more organized, had more money than Marvel did at that time. And they took two of the biggest iconic franchises, Superman and Batman, and turned them into something. I mean, no doubt the Christopher Reeve Superman was phenomenal. And then, even though they got kind of stupid towards the end, with Richard Pryor and, then the Michael Keaton Batman was obviously phenomenal as well. And they really took off. Marcus, Dark Knight, but I think that was a different era. That was a reboot.
That is the post, Matrix thing. But like the thing is, DC, you could say this way then. DC has had trouble to connect since the 90s with anything that's not Batman. Right? Because basically Batman movies are going to work. They work almost every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, Batman and Robin aside, that still made money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they still work, so
they just, I think that part of the success had to do with, those movies were produced and they didn't get cheap. The special effects were good. And there was a vacuum. There was an audience out there that wanted this. And then I think Marvel, obviously the Roger Corman debacles and everything else. I think that what ended up happening was I really see Blade as the precursor to that. Okay. And it wasn't really Marvel per se. It was, I guess, Wesley Snipes to a certain degree. And they saw that, hey, we can take this relatively unknown character in the comic book world and make a kick-ass movie. And it'll appeal to everybody. You're not just marketing to the comic book readers or the comic book fans. This will appeal to a general audience. And it did. And then obviously that kind of started the ball rolling and then obviously Iron Man and then the whole Avengers. And then it just a whole slew of them started coming out. Right. Obviously with Kevin Feige's vision and so on and so forth. So what was the question? The 70s? Was it since the 70s?
Yeah.
I would say that after Dark Knight, they kind of fell off the way. They couldn't get it done. and they couldn't link the universes together. And when they tried to do it, was horrible. Justice League.
That was magic in a bottle with Christopher Nolan. So you have Christopher Nolan, who is a rising director and one of the best working directors, I think, in cinema currently. So I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan in general.
Right.
Attaching him at that point in his career where he was on the rise with Batman, and there's interest. There hadn't been a Batman movie in a long time, right? They're like 7-8 years, but still there hadn't been one. And it hit right at that perfect time, a realistic, grounded Batman, but still fantastical. I think that the Dark Knight trilogy are some of the best out of all superhero comic book movies.
I would agree. So let me see. Before where Rubenstein said what he said, hold on. Yeah, Marcus, you're right. Dark Knight was the same era as Iron Man 1. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Somebody mentioned Howard the Duck. I actually liked that movie, Howard the Duck. Okay, but the problem is it could never bring the different movies into one under one tent, and that's what Kevin Feige did. And I think that was the success there. Coco Tora, Winter Soldier is still your fave MCU movie. Thanks for joining us, by the way. I like Winter Soldier as well. I really like the first Captain America movie, though, the first Avenger. The history, the storyline, the whole thing. I really enjoyed that. And I was a huge Captain America fan growing up, So
Winter Soldier's up there, though. I think it might technically.
No, yeah, I don't get me wrong. I like the Winter Soldier as well.
I think on a technical level, it might be one of their best. My personal favorites are the two Guardians movies. I love those movies so much.
Love those too. Yeah, I did too.
I really love Guardians too. That might be my favorite. It hits me every time, man. Every time when Yondu dies. Spoilers. But it hits me every time, man. And the whole I'm Mary
Poppins. Seen it by now. No spoilers, dude. Come on, dude.
Well, we're on the internet. We just gonna make sure we just say spoilers at least for anybody. By the way, everybody is dead. The kids seeing dead people in Sixth Sense. There you go. Bruce Willis is dead the whole time.
All right, you know what? Let's do another Dynamite book. So we've got Cherish #1, Virgin Incentive 1-in-40 ratio cover by Brett Booth, Salvador Regala, and Andrew Dahlhaus. Suggested retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. And anybody just joining us, every item that you purchase tonight will be accompanied by a Dynamite limited edition incentive cover. All right. So if you buy 3 separate items tonight, you will get 3 different incentive covers. I just want to let everybody know that.
I am very excited for this release because it's based on, I think, a concept that was helped designed by Mark Silvestri, but my good friend Joe Corallo is the editor of this project and a good friend of mine and frequent panelist over at Pop Culture Philosophers. So if anybody's a fan of Joe, definitely check this book out because it's going to be cool.
So, Sinner, you're right. That's a really interesting statement. He's never seen people stay in a theater after a movie was over like they do for every Marvel movie. So you begin to wonder, the Easter eggs post-credits, was it initially done because you remember how it was. You would go and watch a movie, and as soon as the credits started rolling, you'd get up out of it and try to get out of the theater as quickly as possible.
Yes.
And I got to imagine beyond the headline stars. All right, where Rubenstein, you got it.
Well, I guess that does count as a name drop if you're keeping up with that, the Joe Corallo thing. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So everybody drink. But take it easy because John will be back and then it'll be pandemonium. 50 name drops in an hour. You begin to wonder, other than the obvious stars that have their names in the credits in the beginning of the movie and at the end, you begin to wonder all those other people, because it takes a lot of people to put a movie together, right?
Yeah.
And, their credits come up and nobody's looking at it. Do you think that the Easter egg thing was not necessarily done because they thought it'd be cool to drop hints to the next movie, but that this will make you watch all the way through the credits so you could see those people, and then we'll give you something extra at the end? And then it turned out, since so many people were watching, they thought, hey, we can drop hints or stuff like that in there and really spark it up.
Yeah, but if you notice, the big things always happen in the the early time. Like they'll like do their little title cards and then it'll go to a scene. Then they have the credit roll. Usually the very last one in a Marvel movie is not really that much. Like I see plenty of people that wait for it. And then like, what was the Spider-Man one where it was just Captain America saying a stupid thing or whatever. And like, people are like, that's it. But it's never that final one that gives us the big like pop that they're expecting. Now, Jay had mentioned Masters of the Universe having one of the first like ending sizzlers, right? And it does because Skeletor comes back up out of the water. I did not know that until like 20 years ago or something, right? So like even as a kid, I didn't know. Now, I used to work at theaters. There are people that will sit through the credits just to see. Most of the time I would be at the theater and there were like always people that would wait through. And I used to ask them, and the most answer I got was, I wanted to see where the movie was filmed. It's like they were interested in seeing where it was filmed, or they were interested in seeing what the music was, like what songs were in it. But I remember the first time I remember working in a theater, and we hated that, by the way, because the longer you stay in that theater, the longer we have to wait to go clean it up and get ready for the next show.
Before the next showing. Oh,
yeah.
I hadn't thought of that.
But it was Phantom Menace. That was the first time I remember a whole theater, because I worked there at the time, just staying there just to hear Vader breathe at the very, very end.
Lars, man, Mel Gibson's "We Were Soldiers" at the theater. At the end, they do the role for soldiers lost in combat. Yeah, no, I agree. I do remember that movie. It was an excellent movie, actually. And I do remember them running the role of KIAs, but that's different, I think, than what Marvel's trying to do and others are trying to do. You know, that was a different kind of thing, I think. So, where Rubenstein, Silence of the Lambs has the best credits. I don't remember those for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to rewatch the movie, or at least fast forward to the ending credits.
I just watched Manhunter recently, but it's been a while since I've seen Silence.
Yeah, you're right. All right. So hold on. Let me see. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen Silence of the Lambs. That was a great movie. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, it's a great one.
All right. So let's do another graded book.
Oh,
so
that's right. It's just Hannibal walking down the road after he escapes, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yes, that was chilling. Now I remember. Yeah. It was like, how to get out. I did start drinking Chianti more heavily after that movie.
And fava beans?
Yes. All right. So we got She-Hulk #1, Hughes variant cover. CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8, suggested retail of $99.99. And we have the one available for $75. And I did finally finish that up.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I liked it. I really did like it. I think Alec put it best. I know some people didn't like it, but it's kind of finally a superhero series that's kind of a sitcom. You know? So yeah, I like the ending. I like the new twist on Daredevil, even though it's Charlie Cox. Still, I like it. It's a little bit more lighthearted, as opposed to the Netflix one where it was so much darker. I didn't really enjoy the character as much, and I felt like the episodes were dragging. You know, I don't know when I watched it on Netflix, but I liked the new yellow costume as well. His banter with She-Hulk was fun, so I really enjoyed it.
There were a couple episodes I thought that kind of where they got it together, but for me, it just never quite pulled it together. I get that they were trying to go for that sitcom type feel, but I just don't think they utilized enough like of the supporting characters. They had too many guest spots, you know. I think they kind of got in the way of development of like, because that's what makes a good sitcom.
That's kind of why, right? But that's kind of why it's like a sitcom, you know.
Yeah, but what makes a good sitcom, Rex, is when the lead has a really good chemistry with everybody, or with the supporting cast. And I just don't feel like we really had enough of the supporting cast because they were focused on the guest stars, if that makes sense.
I guess.
Plus, the whole end where we're going to kind of do a nod to breaking the fourth wall throughout the series, but at the very end, we're going to go full John Byrne and have her like come out of the Disney app. That's cool. But then when you use that as an excuse to actually not have to write an ending to the story that I've been watching for 9 weeks, that kind of peeved me off just a little bit.
Well, yeah, I can sort of see what you're saying. I mean, I think when you watch, you have to take it in the spirit that it's meant. So I didn't take it too seriously. You know what I
So
mean?
it's my fault I didn't like it. It's what you're saying, Rex.
Wait, what?
You're saying it's my fault I didn't like it then.
Yeah, pretty much. Good. I thought I was being confusing.
Fair enough.
Good. So you did get my point. All right.
I got it.
No, let me pull a John Cole. No respect meant, but I'm getting ready to disrespect you with my next statement. All right. Whenever John says that, that's exactly what's coming on the back end there.
You know it.
Oh my God. Too funny. All right. So I personally liked it. I will watch it again. I felt like it had a Peacemaker feel to it, but different. So you know, there wasn't the seriousness that you had with Peacemaker, but I really enjoyed it. I gotta tell you, you know, I enjoyed Hawkeye as well. To me, it's a Christmas series, so it's getting around to that time of year. I'm gonna watch it, just like Die Hard. You know, I think it's a Christmas movie.
Lethal Weapon as well, my friend.
Yes, Lethal Weapon as well. Very good. I totally forgot about that. That's right. That's Christmas time as well.
And be sure to watch your Gremlins, because it's
worth Gremlins.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that in a while, dude.
Oh, it's about time.
That was an awesome movie. That was definitely an awesome movie.
It's about the gift that keeps on giving.
Phoebe Cates, I think that was like one of her last roles.
No, because after that she did Gremlins 2 and Drop Dead Fred.
Beyond that. All right, I mean, I'm sorry. Fred. Okay. All right. Let's split those hairs now. Okay. All right. We got to take our last and final break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there. Hi there. Hello there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comic Crypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I am your host, Henry Compa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Gang Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey!
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectables.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box?
What's in the box?
Comic culture and sales.
All right, and we're back. All right. Sheldon, yeah, probably. Now that there's no World Series to watch, I'll probably try to squeeze in the Werewolf by Night. So hopefully I'll be able to talk with some reference on Wednesday about it. All right, let's do a Rex cap real quick. We're at that point in the show. All right, so here we go. We did the Dynamite 10-pack reader set. Suggested retail of $40 or higher. And as always, as a thank you to our viewers, we have it for $5. 50 cents a copy. They will be random. If you buy more than one, we will try our best not to duplicate. Then we did Superior Spider-Man number 27. Now Animal Variant, signed by Jenny Parks. It is the best offer book, and Lars Man is currently in the lead at $19.62. Then we did Generation Shattered number 1, signed in silver. I know that one looks like gold, and it is gold. That's the wrong picture that we sent our producer Jay. But the one we have is actually signed in silver. Suggested retail of $69.99. We have one available, number 3 of only 52, signed in silver for $30. Then we did Detective Comics number 27, first printing, rare Frank Miller variant, gold signature series, signed by Peter Tomasi. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available, number 4 of 7, signed at $40. And then we did Deadpool's Art of War number 1, signed by Peter David. And we have one available for $19.90. Phenomenal writer, Peter David, and I love this cover. Then we had the Green Hornet number 1, Dynamic Forces exclusive foil edition, signed by Alex Ross. Suggested retail of $199.99. It is a best offer book starting at $100. Then we did Guardians of the Galaxy number 5, Dynamic Forces exclusive. We have one available. It is $19.69. Looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy number 3. Then we did Amazing Spider-Man number 1, facsimile edition, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Suggested retail $99.99. We have one available for $75. And remember, everybody, every item tonight will get a free limited edition incentive cover from Dynamite. Then we did She-Hulk number 1, Hughes variant, CGC graded 9.8, suggested retail of $99.99, and we have one available for $75. All right, so let me throw another book out there. Let's do the last CCA of the night. It is Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad, April Fool's special, signed with a half Harley, half Joker cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. And we have the one available for $69.99.
That's that Jared Leto Joker right there.
That is. And what's her face? Oh, geez, I can't remember her name.
Margot Robbie, right?
Yeah, Margot Robbie. That's right. Yeah, I remember she got her start in that TV series Pan Am, which I'm old enough to have flew Pan American. Actually, my first trans-Pacific flight was on Pan Am with the pitch so wide or so long that I remember. I'll never forget this. I was regular coach, and it would be mealtime, and I'd pull the tray down and pull it all the way out. And there was so much pitch, I actually had to scoot to the edge of my seat in order to be over the folding tray table. That was amazing. Now, okay, I can't even reach under in coach without bumping my head to the seat in front of me. They must have squeezed like 3 or 4 more rows in every section. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Marcus says, wonder why they made that move with Stargirl with Gunn taking over tomorrow.
Yeah, they're canceling Stargirl. It's not going to come back for season 4, I hear.
I don't know why they've done a lot of things. Shelving Batgirl, I really don't understand.
I think that the time for this CW thing, I think it's over. I think it's over. I think they want to go and I think they want to have more of a connected universe with HBO Max and their movies.
I guess, but I don't know. They've been doing so many things that don't make any sense. I just don't understand it, but whatever. We'll see. At least they decide to let James Gunn kind of head the universe and try to bring it all together, which I think is probably a good move. We talked about it earlier, but I don't know. You got me, buddy. All right, so let's see. Ooh, we only have a couple books left.
We still got one more CCA, don't we? What's that Mary Jane one down there?
Oh, yes, we do. You're right. Why isn't it on my list? Hold on. Bear with me. Somehow it got cut off of my list.
Avenging Spider-Man #1 signed with Mary Jane cover sketch by Jeffrey Gwen and Mariano Nicieza.
Yes. A suggested retail of $149.99, and we have one available for $75. Thank you. I don't know what happened to my sheet. Somehow it got cut off. But thank you. So obviously you got it, Jay. So that's a good thing. All right. Let's see. Let me just write it down in case anybody picks it up there. All right. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with. Jay, you're right. Started out off with HBO Max. We'll see how they change that all up. I don't know what they're going to do.
Well, it started on it was initially going to be DC Infinite, right? And then that's when it merged in with HBO Max or something. And then they decided to put it on CW. So it was never initially a CW show, but they were doing Doom Patrol, they were doing Titans, and then they did Swamp. Like, why did they cancel Swamp Thing? But we got 4 seasons of Titans. I don't understand the decision making that has been made when you really think about it. But
yeah, I was surprised when they merged. They let the executive staff turned out to be the Discovery guys. That's reality TV, guys. This is an entirely different ball of wax. So that didn't make much sense to me either. So maybe they're correcting that with the whole James Gunn thing. I don't know.
Yeah, James Gunn, and there's another guy. I can't remember the other guy's name, but he's not as known to most fans as say James.
No, he was like Gunn's agent too, or something way back when. So they worked well together. Yeah, is what I read. Peter Safran. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Jay. So what I hear is they do work well together, so that's a good thing. And I guess Peter Safran's supposed to take care of more of the business end of it, leaving the creativity to James Gunn,
and freeing Gunn up to still direct films, right?
Correct. So and given that Safran was his agent, obviously they've known each other for a long period of time. They've worked together for a long period of time. So that could be a good combo, kind of splitting Feige's job in half, sort of, and handing it to 2 people, allowing Gunn to deal with creative and Safran to deal with more of the business end of it. So, when they made that announcement, I thought there was hope.
Speaking of James Gunn, then did you? And you said you were excited for Guardians 3, but did you see the trailer for the holiday special?
Yes, I did.
That looks so funny.
It does. It does. And Kevin Bacon. Hey, that works.
I love how it's like introducing to the MCU, Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of separation. He knows, hey, so now you can relate it to Guardians of the Galaxy. That just opens up that whole can of worms, right?
That's really funny. I hope you make some kind of crack about like, I haven't been harassed this much since I did that X-Men movie or something like that. Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be funny, actually. So very disappointing that we got rained out tonight, but I guess that it's all for the best. So frees me up to stream something tonight. So I will definitely.
Werewolf by Night is less than an hour. Werewolf by Night's less than an hour. So
wait, what's that?
Werewolf by Night is less than an hour, so you're good to go.
Yeah. I'm definitely, but then I'm going to need something more. It was horrible. I had to be up really, really early on Saturday morning, like literally dark 30. It was I had to be there. I had to stop, pick up game balls for the tournament. So I had to be out of my house at like 6 o'clock. It was literally 37 degrees when I left my house. I mean, it was so cold. And I knew I had to be up early. So Friday night, I want to watch the series, right? And I'm kind of laying there and whatever, and on my couch, and we've dug, the Phillies dug a 5-run hole, and I'm thinking, I might as well just go to sleep and then just check the scores in the morning. And then all of a sudden they tie it up 5-5. I'm like, crap. So I sit up on my couch. I'm like, now I got to watch it, right? Okay. And it was worth it, certainly. But you remember when you were in high school, whatever, and you had a big test the next day, and you knew you need to get sleep, and you couldn't sleep, and then you're looking at the clock, checking, all right, if I could fall asleep right this second, I'll get like 5 hours of sleep. It was the exact same thing. I'm watching this game going, will somebody please score a run at this point? Because if I go to sleep right now, okay. But I'm glad I watched it. But I was so tired on Saturday morning, man. It was like brutal.
Yeah,
Oh,
we ain't made like we used to be. You know what I'm saying?
oh my God, I was. It was so cold, man. Oh man, I had thermals on it. You know, I mean, I was layered up like 5 layers of clothes. It
Oh
was
man, you're
so
just
cold, man.
miserable later on. Then, man, were you just out there just stripping layers off?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. As the day got warmer, it's that time of year, I know, but it's so weird. 37 degrees when you get up in the morning, and then by midday, it's like Saturday didn't really warm up that much. It was like 61, 62, so there was still a chill in the air. Sunday, 37 degrees again in the morning. By midday, by about 1 o'clock, it's literally 74, 75. I think the day ended at 78. Okay, that day I was doing pretty much, the only thing missing in my striptease act was a pole. All right. I mean, I was just like taking, oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, Marcus, I give you that, buddy. I would have been really PO'd if the Astros won by a run in extra innings, and then I still had to get up in the morning. That would have been far worse.
You're right.
Oh, and I was all planned out, man. I had my coffee cup with the Keurig running, so I didn't have to stop nowhere. Oh, it was so cold. But yeah, Jay brings up a good point. He's amazed that it took all those years to form a DC Studios. I would agree with that.
One would think it's amazing, but it's just because they would pick a direction, then it would never get committed to. You know what I'm saying? Like they were letting Zack Snyder do his thing. And then it seemed like the fandom wasn't really there for it. And then they abandoned that. And then it just became this mess because they did have Wonder Woman and Shazam and Aquaman. They deemed those as successful, right? And now what do you do? Because you've blown this big shot of Justice League and failed, So what do you do now? And it's there's still a jumble because I'm glad to see everybody get excited for Henry Cavill to still be Superman, But we just got to make some sense out of it now. And the best way to do it is to ignore what didn't work, embrace what did work, and then just move forward. Right?
Well, what's funny is that, so you notice, obviously, I had not seen Black Adam, and I will as soon as it hits streaming, but you notice that Superman now has the more traditional hair as opposed to the Snyderverse where it was that slick back look.
Yes.
So that's interesting too. It's I don't know what they're doing. It seems like, every time they move in one direction and they move in another, and it just doesn't seem like there's a plan. So hopefully James Gunn's going to bring some stability to that.
See, what we like about James Gunn is he's able to take these characters with the Guardians of the Galaxy and even with Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, that he knows when they need to be comic accurate, and he knows when he can play around with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's really fun about him.
Right. I agree. So, you know what? That's what happened. I see what I did. All right. Hold on. I see why I missed it. All right. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. Well, where Rubenstein, Cavill, Witcher, they're replacing him with,
it's Liam Hemsworth.
Yes, Liam Hemsworth. I don't know how that's going to work. That should be interesting.
I have never seen the show, but I know it's very popular. And when you when you go from Henry Cavill to somebody else, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow for some people, I bet, who are fans of that show.
So Lars, man, imagine being layered up at 5 a.m. for your trip to the deer stand and then midday baking at 97 degrees. Texas can be rough. Yeah, I can imagine that. I way back in my college days, I used to go deer hunting with my friends. Sprayed the deer piss all over my boots and stuff. And I discovered, you know what? Getting up at dark 30 to go deer hunting was not for me. Just was not for me. It was just let's see. Yeah, Lars, man, that is really cool though. That you've handed down that family tradition and shared it with your sons. Yeah, for me, it was just, not something. I thought it was cool, whatever, I have the 30-30 out there, but I just realized getting up this early in the morning, You know what? I'll go to the range and shoot trap and skeet, and be done with it. And I can get up and go anytime I want. That was not fun. And you had to be quiet. And you couldn't eat, couldn't smoke, you had nothing. I mean, it was just like you just have to sit there. Okay, it was like horrible. I did not enjoy myself, but I know I have plenty of friends who are avid hunters who travel all over the country. They have a great time with it. They used to always call me, "Hey, you want to go?" And I'm like, "Nah, not really."
Yeah, I was never one for stuff like that, though. Now, the older I get, the earlier I go to sleep and the earlier I wake up.
Yeah, not by choice. It just sort of happens to you.
It just sort of happens. Yeah, we're finally getting used to that. I don't know, that rhythm of the Earth. That's why if they end daylight savings time, it might mess us all up. You never know.
I don't pay that much attention.
We've been doing this for like 100 years, y'all. We gotta keep it.
All right, so let's do the last two books. Best offers, 10 minutes left on them. So if you're interested, you're gonna want to get your offer in as soon as you can. All right, so brought a vintage graded book today. We've got Captain America number 217, CGC graded 8.0, and it is the first appearance of Quasar, Marvel Boy.
Ooh.
And we have the one available for 120. So this was sitting, literally we had one available because most of the stuff that we sent through is usually newer books, or within the last few years. But this one's this Bronze Age book just happened to be one of the guys on our warehouse staff managed to find it just laying in a short box. And knew that I've got standing orders for if they see any onesie twosie things, let me know, because it's something we can always bring on the experience. So
yeah,
that is available as well.
Plus, you said the first appearance of Marvel Boy Quasar, right?
Yes, correct.
Well, that's a character that hasn't been utilized yet in the MCU, and definitely will. Definitely will.
Let me see. It looks like Kirby. So it is a Roy Thomas and Don Glutt story. John Buscema and Pablo Marcos art, John Buscema and Frank Giacoa cover.
This is when they were making John do that Kirby style.
Let's see. First appearance of Marvel Man, Wendell Vaughn later becomes Quasar, Texas Twister, Blue Streak, and Vamp. Let me see. And these notes are horrible, but it is a true 8.0 off white to white pages. So for anybody that's interested,
that's a good pickup, man. That really is. I'm serious, because we know how that spec market is, and as soon as they reference Quasar, those books start going up.
Looks like Kirby cover, but it is not apparently.
Yeah, it was when they were trying to still get people like Buscema and everybody to kind of mimic that style, because they were bringing them back and all that stuff. And this might have been right after Kirby's run or during Kirby's run. His third run, I guess, on Captain America.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, let's see. All right. You know what? Let's do another Rex cap just for anybody that might be joining the show a little late. All right. So we did the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, suggested retail of $40, and as always, we have it for $5 as a thank you to our viewers. So 50 cents a copy, you really can't lose. Then we had Superior Spider-Man number 27, now Animal variant, signed by Jenny Parks. It is the best offer booking, and Lars Mann is currently in the lead at $19.62. Then we did Generation Shattered number 1, signed in silver by Dan Jurgens, suggested retail of $69.99. We have the one available, number 3 of only 52 signed in silver, and we have the one available for $30. Then we had Detective Comics number 27, first printing rare Frank Miller variant, gold signature series signed by Peter Tomasi. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available, number 4 of 7. Excuse me, at $40. Then we did Deadpool's Art of War number 1, signed by Peter David. And we have one available for $19.90. All right, and then 4 minutes left, and we have the Green Hornet number 1, Dynamic Forces exclusive foil edition, signed by Alex Ross. It is a best offer book starting at $100. All right. Then we did Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad April Fool's Special, signed with Harley Joker cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $69.99. Then we had Avenging Spider-Man #1, signed with Mary Jane, cover sketch by Geoffrey Gwynn and Mariano Nicieza. And suggested retail of $149.99, and we have one available for $75. And then, we didn't do this book. I'm sorry. So we'll do it now. So then we have Sweetie Candy, Vigilante #2, Virgin Incentive 1-in-25 ratio cover by Jeff Zorno and Ned Ivory. Suggested retail of $50, and we have one available for $30.
I had a lot of fun with this first issue. I'm excited for the second.
All right. Then we did She-Hulk #1, Hughes variant cover, CGC graded 9.8, suggested retail of $99.99. And we have the one available for $75. And then finally, we had Captain America #217, CGC graded bronze, a bronze book, CGC graded 8.0. And we have the one available for $120, first appearance of Quasar. All right. And that is the Rex Cap. We sold a lot of stuff tonight, so that's cool.
Nice.
What?
Captain America is a great pickup. That's probably y'all's steal of the night. No lie.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what is the movie of the night for you?
Tonight we are doing 9 movies. We're doing the entire Nightmare on Elm Street franchise to wrap up.
So that's tonight.
That's tonight to celebrate Halloween, to wrap up Horror Fest. That's what we're doing. So
and 9 o'clock Eastern, right?
9 Eastern on Pop Culture Philosophers. Heck yeah.
All right. So be sure to tune in to PCP to check out Robbie and the entire Nightmare on Elm Street collection. Should be a good time there. That's for sure. Don't forget, Wednesday, we'll be back for Comic Collectables at 6 p.m. Eastern time with AR Comics, Alec. And then Robbie and I will be on Robbie's channel, PCP, Pop Culture Philosophers, on Friday at noon for the topic of the day, whatever Robbie decides between now and then. And that's noontime Eastern time. And then don't forget, Nick's original art show will return at 7 p.m. Eastern on Friday. And then on November 11th, very important, Nick will be on his original art show with Black Panther and Submariner art, and first appearance of Shuri. And the total amount of original art that Nick will have on that show will have a value of almost $500,000. So it's going to be some great stuff. Even if you can't afford some of the pieces, definitely you want to check it out. It is fantastic. So Robbie, topic of the day: lunch boxes.
Like what? Like what are our favorite lunch boxes of all time?
That's interesting.
Just our thoughts.
That's
on
interesting.
Boxes?
I still carried around those metal lunch boxes, with the little arm for the thermos and all that.
You still got one of those?
Oh, I don't have any. Are you kidding? I would have sold them a long time ago.
I used to have an ET one when I was a kid, and I would love to have that back. To be honest, I loved it. It was my favorite ever. I loved it. And the thermos, oh my goodness.
Every new school year, I'd make my mom go out and buy me a new one.
I
must have had such a collection.
I wasn't that fortunate, but I had that ET one, but I remember that, dude. We get attached to our lunch boxes, don't we?
Oh boy, I tell you, that was the day when the thermos. Remember, the thermos also had some, matched up with the lunchbox. It also had some. Oh, I love those things.
Dude, that was like the way that you would have drip when you were in elementary school back in our days, right? You'd show up to the first day of school and be like, bam. You'd be weird stretching everybody. This is my taste. I got Star Wars. I got G.I. Joe. I got Transformers, Thundercats. I felt so.
Yeah,
cool.
I have to say, by the time those shows came out, I think I was already in college. So I'm way back in the day.
Well,
dude.
For you, I don't know, Laurel and Hardy, the Marx Brothers.
Hey, whoa! Take it easy there, Robbie. Man, no reason to go there. That's not nice. No, I'd have Batman, Superman, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
a lot of comic book ones. But yeah, that was the thing. You're absolutely right. You the first day of school, you'd be sporting there. You'd be checking out everybody's lunchbox. What was funny was book bags were very basic. I had my mom went to the old Army Navy store in town, and I have the canvas green bag, right? And just about everybody in school had them.
Yeah, even in my day, like people didn't have fancy backpacks, but
yeah, nobody cared about that.
This is for my day, Trapper Keepers. I remember having a Batman 89 Trapper Keeper that was the ballinest Trapper Keeper at the school.
They hadn't invented that yet. That guy I think recently passed away. The
Trapper Keeper was amazing. I still think about going online sometimes. I look them up and I look up vintage Trapper Keepers. I'm like, why? But how funny if that's where I kept my schedule and all my notes and stuff was in a Trapper Keeper.
Yeah, by that point I think I was in college or very much like junior, senior in high school. So
for sure,
it hadn't really taken off. We were all the old 3-ring binders, and
I used to have tons of them that would just have like spears and like cool like designs and just planes and all kinds of cool stuff.
Well, I remember that you go to school and the lady with the cart with all the stuff that you could buy, and you'd have to make sure you had money. And I remember they used to have all these different erasers. That was a big thing. Okay. Marcus Peachy folder. I remember those as well. Lars, man, my favorite Trapper Keeper is the one I customized with a giant AC/DC sticker.
Nice.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, and I bugged my mom. She'd be like, "Why can't you use the one last year?" And I was horrified when my mom would say that. Like, what? I can't take last year's lunchbox into this year, dude. Come on, Mom.
Tonight, I'm going to wind up going on eBay and finding an ET lunchbox, man. Thanks, Lars, man. Was that Lars, man, that brought that up?
I think it might have been Marcus. I'm not sure. But listen, as always, I want to thank all our viewers for joining us tonight. Thanks again. We appreciate you guys spending time with us. I have a great time. I know Robbie does as well. Be sure to tune into Robbie's YouTube channel, PCP, Pop Culture Philosophers, 9 p.m. Yeah, it was Lars, man. 9 p.m. Eastern. He will, for his movie night, he will be reviewing the entire collection of Nightmare on Elm Street. All right. So thank you, everybody. And see you guys Wednesday. Robbie, I'll see you Friday, my man.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, y'all.
Happy Halloween.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.